What's up, Ryker family? It's me, Garcia, getting ready to talk to you guys about my latest install, which most of you, or if not all of us, have complained about the parking lot not having a lock. But I ordered the pre-cut one online, and the lock, which is in my pocket somewhere, and the lock. Well, let me tell you something. If I would have knew that I had to go through everything that I went through to get this cover off, I just would have just drilled a hole in this thing and be done with it. So let me just give you guys a quick review of what I had to take apart, or what I thought I needed to take apart. So if any of you guys had an easier way, please chime in. So there's two bolts that hold this together. You got one on the top, one on the bottom. The one on the bottom is straightforward, it's right there, just above. And then the other one is way up behind here. I didn't have any kind of special tools to get a torque 30 in there, and it was just no way, because I got big ass hands. My hands are not the littlest, so trying to get a hand up in here, trying to finagle, get up in here was pretty difficult. So to make my life easier, I just went ahead and took the air box out where the air filter's attached to, and I took out the front trunk area, so I can actually get a small little socket and small ratchet set up in there to get that bolt out. In order to get the air box out, you're gonna have to loosen this clamp off this rubber boot, and then there is a bolt right here, and then also you have an air hose right here you need to disconnect. Then there is a bolt that goes right here. Other than that, it's pretty simple. It's not hard. The only hard part I found was that when they installed this clamp, they installed it, to me, was backwards, so I couldn't get to it. So I had to actually disconnect it from the far bottom and bring it out this way. These clamps are not the greatest, so be careful. They're very thin, so they bend all up and get all, out of shape and everything. So like this one down here got bent up pretty bad, but I was able to put it around a pipe that I had laying around my house and round it out again. But yeah, like if I would have knew I had to go through all this, I would have just drilled. It would have been easier to use a step drill and just drill it out. So it's straightforward. Your lock goes in here, and then two screws go here. And here's a good one that I didn't know about. Since I was ordering from a part warehouse, they're in the business of making money, so I got the cover and the lock. But when I ordered it, I automatically assumed that the screws would come with this lock, and guess what? They don't. So I had to go to Home Depot and match up two screws, and some split washers, just lock it in place and a little Loctite and be done with it. But overall, if it wasn't for all this other stuff, it just would have been a straightforward job, because it's only two screws that hold the freaking panel in place. Maybe some of you got smaller hands and can get a small little torque bit in there with a small ratchet and try to get into it. But I just, for the life of me, I'm quite sure you can get it up from top maybe, but I looked at this disassembly of the top area right here, and that just looked like too much freaking work. And just from my experience, and this is not the first time I've taken this bike apart, the clips and attachments and screws and all these plastic tabs, they're very fragile, and it doesn't take much to break one of these tabs. And you know, this is one of the flimsiest constructions I've ever seen in my life of any kind of plastics. I'm very upset. You know, we spent all this money on this bike, and it's just like really tacky. The shit vibrates. You know, but the only good thing about it is that since I got the whole bike apart, I've been putting off this next install for a while now, and that's going to be my light kit. So since I got it all apart, I might as well go ahead and just bear down with this heat and install my light kit, which will be, I got this light kit called Aura Pro Opt 7. It's a bunch of LEDs, and then, you know, I'm going to strategically place them around and figure that out and have a little fun with that. And then once I get that all together, I'll get back at you guys with the end results. So if you got any questions, get at me. Ride on and safe riding, guys.